My name is Sarah, and happy Valentine's Day! Woo! Chocolates are being served, romantic nights are being planned, and Cupids are among us getting ready to match us with our perfect match. And speaking of Cupids, today's book review is on Cupid's Match by Lauren Pulverman. Non-spoilers. I give this book a 3 out of 5 stars. The title pretty much says what this book is about. We have a main character, her name is Lila, and apparently she's been matched with the love god, Cupid. But you know, we can't have that because once that happens, some great evil will be reawoken and we could all possibly be in danger. Now, if this title does sound familiar, apparently it was optioned, I guess, as a TV show on CW or CWC. I will leave a link in the description down below because Wattpad channel on YouTube does still have the first episode, so I will leave it for y'all if y'all want to check it out. This book gave me 2014 early Vampire Diaries season 1 vibes, and that's good and bad. So this book is split into 3 parts, and the first part of this book was riddled with those time period cliches that it felt like I was going up a very top hill just to get the ball going. Now there are still a couple of cliches further on the book, but not as bad as the first part. And then there's the characters. Lila, our main character, I didn't like her so much in the first part of the book. I mean, she was made out to be, you know, this girl, normal average girl who was matched with a god and something bad would happen, and she just kept, she was very irritable. She really irritated me on the first part of the book, and that's not good with that if it's your main cast, but as the book progressed, as much as the story, it got better. Same as Cupid, who is supposed to be this bad boy, dangerous guy, and then his brother, who we find out, his name is Cal, who sticks by the company rules no matter what. They were cliches a bit, you know, black and white, water and oil not mixing well together, except for those rare occasions where brotherly bonds pull us together. And then the book progressed and it got better. I actually like the world that she built, because we have like the Greek/Roman mythology working in modern day town / LA city, and I have to applaud her because it was weaved really well, and I wanted to know more, especially the side cast characters, because I was really interested in them more than the main character cast. And I can totally see why this optioned as a TV show at the time, because it fell perfectly well into the paranormal / urban fantasy world, especially when Vampire Diaries was taking CW by storm. That's why I guess you can say Teen Wolf on, what's it called, MTV. But because of that, again, it also fell into the tropes, the cliches that was practically in every other YA novel. So it's like, it really didn't have that much special in the first part, but again, part 2, part 3 saved the book from the downfall of the first part. There are still a tiny little bit of cliches, but it's not as bad. I would have to say this would have been an interesting TV show to watch. I would have watched it from the first season and made my decision afterwards, seeing if it deserved a second season or not. They could actually have gone far in the show, because again, it's like Roman, Greek mythology in here, kind of woven really well as in here. But besides that, it's a good book. It's a good read, especially for Valentine's Day, because you know, Cupids. And that's as far as I can get into non-spoilers. Cupid's Match by Lauren Pulverman, 3 out of 5 stars. Bye, non-spoilers. Spoilers. So right off the bat, we get this letter informing Lila that she has to come down to Cupid's matchmaking service because there's been an error in their system. And after reading the letter, I'm like, the Cupids, kind of stalkery. Let me read to you the letter. Dear Lila, I am contacting you on behalf of the Cupid's matchmaking service. You will not have heard of us, but we are an organization that works behind the scenes of society, identifying each person's perfect match. Usually, we do not contact our clients. We prefer to work in secrecy, setting up ideal environments for our matches to have a chance encounter. Recently, however, we ran your details through our system and, well, in your case, we think you better come in. Please respond at your earliest convenience. Yours urgently, the Cupid's matchmaking service. First of all, who thought it was a professional move to put ... and a official letter to get someone to come to your organization who obviously has your personal information that you never signed up for and works behind the scenes to set ideal environments? That sounds kind of creepy, and no thank you, but Lila, you go deal with that. Good for you. Now Lila has spent almost the whole day trying to get from Forever Falls, Mystic Falls, to LA, so that's where a lot of stuff really happens though in this book. LA and Forever Falls, mostly Forever Falls, but LA kind of set up this whole world as well. And she gets there to the matchmaking services, and we meet a side character, Crystal, important later. And this woman, surprised when Delilah shows her all the spam mail that she's been getting, a lot of spam mail apparently, and she is shocked, and she calls in Cal, who reminds me a lot of Yuki from Blue Exorcist. And we find out him, as well as Crystal, as well as everyone at Cupid's matchmaking services are Cupids. It's in the name, people. Now this book, I believe, which was my biggest gripe, would have been a whole lot better if the main characters were in college. But because we're in high school, you're going to tell me that a 17 teenager-ish looking boy is part of this grand, maybe privately owned organization that's run by a bunch of statistical making machinery with a bunch of Wall Street people, Cupids, going around, and he's kind of in charge? Meh. But this is Lila's problem, not mine, so continuing on. And one big, I guess you can say, check against the book is how they introduce the world, because we're talking about paranormal / urban fantasy. So unless the character already knows the world around them, it's kind of best to ease them in, just show little examples here and there, or have them discover it and have someone, mentor their way. But no, Cal, the moment he brings Lila into his office, he's like, we're Cupids. We make matches. It's true. We've been doing that for eons, and you've been matched with an undesirable, the original Cupid, because his real name is Cupid, and that is against policy laws. And Lila's like, right. My same reaction. And Cal, not taking a hint and just dealing with Lila's sarcasm, because I would be sarcastic as well, not believing any of this, he continues to throw out important information, and I'm like, dude, tone it down. Let's show Lila that we're not crazy, which he does. And this is one thing that I also liked about this rule, is that Cupids have Sims, where apparently nothing is private and secret anymore, and has all these recordings of past made matches, which Cupid shows how Lila's parents were matched because he was there. And we could have probably done this before to prove in our points that Cupids were real, but after throwing that hardball, Lila believes, and she's like, well, where's Cupid now? And someone made an oopsies at the office, and Cal tells her, oh yeah, Cupids are rolling at your school, he'll be there tomorrow. Awesome. Now the first, I guess you could say 60 chapters or so is where the cliches hit the most, because first of all, Lila, this is why I really didn't like her in this first part of the book, is because she kept repeating, I should have kept a tally on this one. She kept repeating how many times, I have a boyfriend. My boyfriend's name is James. He's my boyfriend. I'm with James. I'm not gonna be interested. I wouldn't be interested in Cupid. Why do you think I'd be interested in him? Lady, just, oh my God, do you have anything else to say besides that? Because she literally kept repeating that every 2 paragraphs or so, that I just wanted to just close the book and just die. This is the first 5 chapters, the first 60 pages, the first 5 chapters. I'm like, die. Another cliche that's very early back then. Let me give you an example. The Stefan Salvatore coming to Mystic Falls High School. Charlie, Lila's best friend, on the day of school, she runs to Lila telling her, hot boy, admin office, episode 1 of Vampire Diaries. And Lila's like, why would you want to tell me this? And Charlie's like, I'm gonna tell you first, and I'm gonna blog about it. Yes, we still have blogs. Early 2010, 2014 cliches. And of course, Cal, coming up with a grand scheme, decides to try to trick Cupid into making him believe some random girl is his match, but Cupid sees right through it. He's like, he already knows that Lila is his match. So Another thing, don't get romantically involved with Cupid, but because remember, it's against company policy. No one tells Lila the big problem about a Cupid hooking up with a human and why it's against company policy. And every time they kept throwing it back in her face, I just wanted to grab someone, shake him, tie him down to a chair, and start, at the fireplace with the poker, heating it up, and tell me why it's against the laws, or I will start poking holes into you and it will hurt. I am channeling my inner Masochist, as you can see. But of course, Cupid, as he saw through that plan, we get a small little introductory into Cupid 101 thanks to Cal. And interesting part in part 1 was learning the different arrows. So Cupid have 3 arrows that they use. They're all given different names, but I kind of just labeled them in my mind what they're known for. The first one is fool's love, where if you get struck by that, that already hidden burning ember inside of you, well, it's given a nudge to come ablaze, and the person that you're matched for, you are the one, and it's I will take that chance out there, I will step out the shadows and tell you that I like you. That kind of, arrow, fool's love. Then we have burning flame, the one that takes that on this small little ember and just spouts the gasoline on there, and you become that creeper stalker guy, or the one that stays in the shadows and thinking, they will never return my love, I cannot go out there, I'm probably just gonna slowly die and wither away. It's and we have the most dangerous one of all, Cupid's arrow, named after Cupid. No, not really, it's just called Cupid's arrow, but that's the one where you get turned into Cupid. So let's not get shot by arrow number 3. And Cal, I understand you're trying to teach Lila the world of Cupids, because you say you will be trained in the art of Cupids, which I kind of laughed at, but what's the point of teaching Lila this if you're shooting the arrows at her? Seriously, they're in the gym and he shoots these arrows at her to make a point about these arrows, and why couldn't you have done this with her beside you? But no, let's just shoot the first arrow at Lila and start describing all this bad stuff about the arrows. So yeah. Another reason why these people should have been in college is because apparently Cupids, the moment you become a Cupid and have to serve the agency for all eternity in Kingdom Come, is that you get fancy cars. And Cal, I don't know where you believe teens drive this, but apparently he drives a Lamborghini and Cupid drives an Aston Martin. Y'all are trying to pretend to be teenagers. Y'all, teenagers don't drive that. They either take the bus, hitch a ride with a friend, or they have a car that's already have maybe 60,000 to 100,000 miles on there, or it's a family car and you only borrow it to go from school to practice or just to hang out with your friends and to be back by curfew. No one drives a Lamborghini or an Aston Martin. Oh my god, I'm surprised Sal's cover hasn't been blown yet. We actually do get a scene with the burning flame arrow because Lila sees this kid that apparently has been kind of creeping around the shadows, rumors, and who likes this girl, and he made an appearance and there's a little tussle and Cupid's there. Well, she sees Cupid pull out an arrow, burning flame, and that she realizes that all the rumors about this kid during the summer kind of might tie into that, and she believes that Cupid's the one that's making all this trouble happen. We soon find out that he didn't stab the kid, he only pulled the arrow out. Well, we see the extent that this arrow makes a person feel, because when this girl wouldn't return the feelings that he had, he jumped from the top of the school. He's okay, he got a couple of broken legs and a bruised neck, but he's okay. But we saw the full extent of what this arrow could do, so let's not play with that one. I thought the Cupid's arrow was bad, but that's bad as well. Now, if I thought playing Clue, finding each cliche that kind of went with a TV show that I knew, this was the biggest one of them all, because Cupid, of course, is hosting a party. New kid, let's host a party. And we get the big reveal that him and Cal are brothers. And he does the Damon Salvatore thing where he's like, hello, brother. Y'all know what scene I'm talking about. He literally does that. He says, hello, brother, when Cal shows. I'm like, oh my god. Salvatore much. But this is where the cliches take a nosedive down, and we only get trickles of them later on in the book, which is really good and a huge improvement, and where the plot picks up, and I can see why this book has a lot of followers. Now, after the big reveal that Cupid and Cal are brothers, and well, we get the antagonist group that follow the laws of the matchmaking service so devotedly that they are given the name the Arrows. They showed up to town. They're the ones that, shot the arrow into that poor kid, but they've also been apparently shooting other arrows at people trying to make life difficult for Cupid to prove a point that, the match must not be made, apparently. And they will be willing to work with Cupid as long as he turns in Lila. And that's a big no-no, apparently. So with Lila's life in danger because these extreme Cupids are willing to go to any length to make sure this match doesn't happen, we have to get out of Dodge. And doing that, the people in the party have been shot with some arrows. And that's where she realizes that she knew that James, her boyfriend, was her match, but she didn't know who it was to. Well, she sees James making out with Charlie. Ooh, scandal. But then again, we kind of saw that one coming a mile away. Either way, we gotta get out of town. And the Aston Martin. Yeah, teenager's right. And while we're on our way to new said location, we find out that none of the arrows that the Cupids own can harm Cal and Cupid because, hey, they're the originals. Yeah, and there's only actually one arrow that can kill them, but it's been lost for some time now. And that was kind of mentioned, like a foreshadowing moment in the very beginning of the book where Cal was talking to another Cupid in front of Lila. So foreshadow moment, not very subtle, but it's there. It's called the Finis, and we need to find it before anyone else does, because we don't want the arrows or anyone else to find it and kill Cupid or Cal. So let's still make our way to LA, please. This is where I would say the author got out of the, I guess you could say, the long climb up the mountain. Because the first few chapters that you write, it's kind of like, trying to get into the groove and everything, and once you get over that hump, it just kind of lays out before you, you get a general idea of where you're going. Well, this is where I believe that the author weaved together a very interesting, creative world of Greek/Roman mythology, and that's because when we get to LA, I'm guessing there's probably like other things going on in LA, but we go to a club named Elysium, which is owned by sirens. So we see more Cupids. Cal and Cupid also talk about gin and oracles. So I'm like, ooh, I want to see more of those. And we meet Selena, who is Cupid's ex, and just kind of chill about that. And apparently Cupids don't want to mess with the sirens. So after trading some information, we get Selena's protection. Now we have our tiny little training montage where Cal and Cupid decide to train Lila in a sim because we're going to possibly fight some arrows just in case. You might want to know how to fight like a Cupid and be able to defend herself against the arrows. Well, I'm just like, what's so wrong with a tactical retreat? Lila plus me, we are human. Can we not run away? I do not want to fight supernaturally enhanced immortal beings, but Lila, you go on ahead. And when that is taken care of, Cal, Selena, and Cupid, they go to meet the arrows to tell them that Lila is hands off. Well, they drop her off at Charlie's because apparently Charlie saw some arrows, because there's this thing, if you see or get hit by an arrow, you can actually see them now. Well, Charlie told Lila after apologizing about the whole James situation that she saw the arrows, firing arrows. And so Lila basically told her everything, and they're gonna go try to sneak around and try to get information. Well, it turns out the arrows were one step ahead because they turned Charlie into a Cupid. And being a newly turned vampire, I'm sorry, Cupid, well, she has that urge to follow company policy and tries to kill Lila. Luckily, the crystal shows up, but Charlie already told the arrows. So Crystal's trying to fight them off. And this is where, again, my inner masochist came out, and I wanted to, again, tie a Cupid down, but this time upside down from the ceiling and pretend he is a piñata because, in a European voice, he said, and I quote, "For crimes against Cupids, I sentence you, Lila Black, shoot the Cupid's arrow, then death." Are you kidding me? We have not been told the exact crimes except finding out that she is the match to Cupid, and we don't know the terrible outcome that will happen to said couple if the match is completed, and we don't know the terms as to how the match will be completed, but y'all go on ahead and say, no, you have to die because you are his match, yet y'all don't explain specifically how it applies to these two people who have just met, and you're sentencing her to death for crimes against Cupids. Wait, really wanted to beat some Cupids and get answers myself, but because I'm not there, Lila just has to go around every single corner and everything, not knowing what's happening until we finally get an explanation close to the end. It's just, By the way, Crystal knows where the fitness is, so, yay. Only problem is the arrows have her. We get to one of my favorite parts in this book, and that was like at the beginning of part 3, and it was a little confusing at first, I will admit that, because since this is first person, I think it would have made it a whole lot easier if it was italicized, but it wasn't. But either way, I figured it out. Well, the first part in part 3 of the book takes point of view of Crystal, because she had the fitness last. No one knows where she put it or anything, and it takes place in 1888 London, and she's chasing Jack the Ripper, who is not human but the Minotaur. I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And apparently even back then in 1888, because we get a reference from Cupid later on saying how the Minotaur had security systems that rivaled that of the matchmaking services, because he had modern tech in 1888. I mean, come on. But Crystal manages to get the fitness arrow from the Minotaur after making a trade. Again, I was very interested in what was going on back then in 1888, but we got a time skip up front, and now we know where the arrow is, and I honest to God did not see this one coming. So remember the beginning where Lila shows up to meet Crystal for the very first time? Well, that was in the reception office. There was this arrow that was hanging right above Crystal. Well, that's the fitness. She kept it where she could keep her eye on it all this time. So good work, Crystal. Even I didn't see that one coming. As for the last tally of cliches, one of them, which is like, it's like a little nitpicky, but the arrows want to do like the final showdown, I guess, to catch Lila is at the high school dance. Now, what's it with baddies always want to do like the big fights at a high school dance? Either way, they do go with that plan, and Charlie manages to get back with the arrows to find out where Crystal is, because we got to rescue Crystal. And we have a weird moment between Cal and Lila. I'm just gonna blame it on the arrow, because I really didn't feel no love, attraction, or whatsoever between them two. And I gotta make this little remark about this entire book. What do these people eat? Because I don't remember them having a nice, healthy lunch, breakfast, or dinner. All they have been living off, all they've been thriving off 98% of the time, if not 99%, is coffee. Almost every single chapter, they are given a cup of coffee, or they are going through the night drinking coffee, and then for breakfast, they have coffee. I'm like, people, eat some greens, have some vegetables, go get a hamburger. How can y'all live off of caffeine? The Cupids maybe, because they're immortal and everything, but the regular people, what? It's like, ugh, please, go eat something. We get the big reveal that if Cupid and Lila do have their match succeed, that the original owner of the agency of Cupid's matchmaking service will return, and they will be put on trial for breaking the rules. And let's see, Roman mythology, who was the mother of Cupid? Venus. Shocker. And let's see, oh, because she wants to still be worshipped and everything, so she has Cupids doing her bidding without any, them saying in the matter. Controlling bitch. Shocker. Oh, no one can be happy or she'll kill us. So hey, let's use Lila as bait to get the fitness, and Cupid can go kill her. Did I say this yet? Shocker. Yeah, I kind of figured that Venus was going to be the real antagonist in this book. It's just that really she's the cliche villain that if she's not happy, no one can be happy. And if a Cupid or one of her sons finds true love, hey, I'm going to come back off of my, vacation and not only kill y'all and take over all of my Cupids that serve me because they have to, but you know what? I want more worship, so I'm going to kill anyone who gets in my way and take over the world. Bitch, fight me. And I guess Cupid and Lila were getting closer together. I was thinking more like a friends kind of way, because they kept repeating that, we can't fall in love. And Cupid was going to keep to his word about leaving the next day. Well, are you telling me? Because we never really got any clarifications as to what registered as a match being completed, but they were just chilling in bed after Cupid got hurt and everything, and he promised he was going to leave. But are you telling me them just talking it out chilling, looking at the ceiling, and playing pretend on where they would meet again later in life. Are you telling me that was the spark that sent off the match contract being signed with their signatures and them sealing the deal after a major big earthquake announcing Venus's arrival? A kiss was the stamp that made it official? You know, y'all Cupids kept saying the match must not be completed. Well, y'all should have given us a list of rules that was, like, I guess, the foundation, the sets of how a match can be completed, because if we saw that, we could probably say, no, not gonna happen, their match not completed. Well, apparently it is, after talking about, you know, a fantasy life together and just kissing. Well, the match is complete. Oh, and by the way, Venus is home. Fight me, bitch. The last cliche, I guess you could say, was when Cal supposedly betrayed the team to Venus to save his skin. Well, you know, he has the arrow, the fitness, because Crystal gave him a replica, the company, and the only way to get close to Venus was to pretend that he's still loyal. So raise your hands if you saw that cliche coming. But either way, it works, because we saw Venus, who just proved my point of her being a major bitch and not really having any real motives to destroy the world, besides that no one worshiping her as much as they should, and she wants more worship, thus becoming evil, controlling bitch and everything. Yes, she is a bitch. Well, we're inside the enemy's territory, so that's a good part. That's a good thing. And we need to go awaken Venus's enemies, because she kept them around just for her little playthings. I'm like, okay, let's go get some enemies. Let's go make the enemies of my enemy is my ally kind of thing. And when we get down there and we read the cards that are, you know, labeled on there on the doors of the mythical creatures that she has locked away, I was like, what? First of all, we have Medusa. She has Medusa? Wait, what? Second, she has Pandora. Pandora, sweetie, are you okay? She has Selena. She got through the sirens, and she got Selena. She got the queen of sirens or whatever. She got Selena. Oh my god, we gotta break her out. She has Romulus and Remus. She has my sons. What? When did this happen? Oh, and last but not least, she has the Minotaur. She has Medusa, this poor innocent girl that was cursed because of a god that, you know, did things that we don't want to talk about. She has Pandora, who was given a box that had all evils and everything, and she's trying to do her best to contain it and live life. She has Selena, the Queen of Sirens. I'm calling her the Queen of Sirens. She's the Queen of Sirens. She has my sons. She has Romulus and Remus, the sons of Mars, the founder of Rome. But she has the Minotaur? Summoning spell. Master, how did you summon me? The last time you used up all your command seals. Shut up, I killed some more masters to get more command seals. Oh, then are you interested in partaking in the Holy Grail War so we can win? No. You still got that portal up? Yes. Good. Open it up to the Cupid's matchmaking services in LA. Master, I don't understand what you... Using my first command seal, I command you to summon every single serpent from Unlimited Blade Works, Zero, Apocrypha, and Euro and Gawain from Last Encore. Master, I use my second command seal to order you to summon all of the Hashiras and the upper 6 moons of the 12 moons, along with Musan from Kimetsu no Yaiba. Wait, Master, I understand you might be a little bit mad, but please. And for the third command seal, I order you to summon Levi Ackerman. Master, you're really, really mad. Do it. Okay, one OP squad led by the GOAT. Coming up. If I thought Venus was a bitch at the moment and I wanted to fight her on my own terms, well, not only does she have mythical creatures that I love and cherish to my dearest, but she took the Minotaur? She needs to die. Cal links all the Sims together and it comes out in the form of the labyrinth because we gotta go through the Minotaur. And as the team splits up to go reawaken everyone, Cupid and Lila, their first myth to help free is Pandora. Yee! And at the same time we have to fight Gluttony. Pretty much the same thing. And we know we do free Pandora, and Pandora splits off to go get Medusa. And apparently the Minotaur has been just chilling in The Sims because he is very advanced, more advanced than Venus really believes him to be, because he already made his world his way, and he's just been chilling there, enjoying the scenery, and just waiting for Crystal, who does show up, and he's like, okay, I'm ready to leave now. And we reawaken all of these myths to go beat Venus. Yeah, power team. So it's the final moment where we're all in the courtroom with Venus sitting on her perch and them reading out the, laws that have been broken and getting ready to sentence Crystal, Cupid, and Lila to death. Well, of course the myths show up. We have a big fight, but we have a problem because apparently Vulcan, Venus's husband, why did you lay down in the fine print for your children to read that the Venus cannot work unless it's a human that shoots it at an immortal being? Because Venus says, oh, I knew all along y'all had the Venus arrow because it can't harm me, it can't harm any other Cupid, and it can't hurt Cupid or Cal unless it's fired by a human because my husband made that rule. And Venus is taking this very lightly, and she's giving Lila the ultimatum. If you want to save Cal, who she's now torturing in front of them, kill Cupid. Well, again, Crystal pulls another surprise on us because I honestly, God, did not see this one coming either. She never switched the arrows. The ones that, Cal had was the fake, but the one that was on the commander, the one that's very loyal to Venus, he had the real one, meaning his body was closer to Lila. And so that one split moment when Venus is at her upper bitch level self of hers and tries to kill Lila, Lila takes the arrow and stabs her in the heart. Her cold, dead, teeny weeny cold like heart. And the Cupids are free because Venus is dead and all the rules that she made, they are gone. And we end on a happy note with Lila surviving, Cupid and her being free to, actually have an actual moment and probably build an actual relationship together to form an actual match. And Cal, he is potential candidate to be, the new president of Cupid's matchmaking service. And who knows, he might actually find love because he actually did love someone, but because of the rules, he turned someone into Cupid and Lila fell. But now he actually has an option of actually finding true love. So yay for Cal. And are you telling me we're gonna leave off on this happy note and not address to the fact that no matter how many times y'all mentioned it, y'all said the Minotaur was a killer, and y'all let him fight for y'all as well as with the other myths, and y'all are gonna let them walk free and not address this problem for future situations to come? Hey, all I know is, what? Master, are you ever going to participate in the Holy Grail War? Of course I am, just next time. Ugh, I swear, you summon me and make me do all these tedious tasks for you. Love you too. And that's the end of my spoilers. So as you can see, after I got past the first part of this book, I just had complete fun with this whole entire story. There are some times where the cliches kind of still lingered a bit, which is like, and no one was telling Lila about these rules, so again, I was getting frustrated. But either way, after getting past part 1, which is really riddled with a bunch of cliches, 2010 to 2014 cliches, it just got really, really good, and I really actually do wish it did get picked up for a TV show, because I would have loved to watch that season and see where they would have taken it off after defeating Venus. I don't know, maybe have some troubles going down in LA because apparently Elysium is the supernatural hubbub or something, I don't know. The characters, they had their growth, so I enjoyed that. I really loved this world. I actually would like to see if the author would ever like to revisit here and see what she does with it. Either way, this was a good read, a good Valentine's Day read as well, and yeah. Cupid's Match by Lauren Pulverman, 3 out of 5 stars. My name is Sarah, and bye!